Hello everyone. Welcome to Gardening for Better Health. This is Henry B. 723 coming to you this evening here from my kitchen. Welcome to everyone. I'm glad you could make it and stop by and see what's going on here. I hope everyone there is well. We're doing great here. And I wanted to take a minute and say hello to all my subscribers and all of the people who visit me on a regular basis. Thank you. And I want to say hello to everyone who may be here for the first time. Welcome. Please stop back again. And if you learned something, please consider coming back again, subscribe and ring the notification bell so that when I upload another video, you'll be notified. Today we're doing something really fun. I enjoy baking things for my family, and I enjoy baking healthy things for my family. Today, as you could see from the thumbnail, we're going to be making what I call honey nut cookies. That's because we're not using any fine refined sugar in this. We're only going to be using honey, and we're not using any flour for this. So it's going to be a very interesting, put together, quick make for these cookies. I'll start off with the ingredients that I have for these cookies. I shopped for the ingredients at a store in my area. It's called the Bulk Food Store. And in this store, it differs from the big box stores, the big chain stores, in that it specializes in grains and nuts and specialty things that people like to use in cooking and baking. So at the specialty food store, the big bulk store, I got the ingredients. This is a bag of almonds, and there you have to weigh out the amount of things that you want to buy. It does not come pre-packaged, which really makes it cheaper, because the packaging is a large part of the price that you pay for a lot of things in the store. So in this recipe, we're going to be using almonds. We're going to be using pumpkin seeds. We have sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and this was in the store too. This is flax seeds. This was not bulk, so I bought it in the package. Cashews, walnuts, and we also are going to be using apricots that I cut up, and we're going to be using eggs, the egg whites from the eggs. So that's the ingredients, and we also will be using some honey. So we've got that waiting on the sidelines. The hardest part about this recipe is gathering all the ingredients that you're going to use. So once you've got all of those things gathered, then you measure out what you're going to need. The recipe that I'm doing has one measurement in the actual recipe, but I'm doubling that recipe because it doesn't make enough cookies with the original ones for my family. So I'm doubling that recipe, and I will tell you what I'm using. So if you want fewer cookies, only use half of what I'm using. If you want more cookies, use more than the ingredients that I'm giving you. But for this one, we should be able to have cookies to put on both my baking trays back there to make cookies. They're going to be large cookies, so it's not going to be a lot of them, but at least we'll have enough so that we can enjoy them for a little while. All of the ingredients are natural, so I would suggest that after you make your cookies, that the ones that don't get eaten, you put them in the refrigerator, because there are no preservatives in these ingredients. So it should last in the refrigerator maybe a week if your family lets them stay there that long. So let's get started. We're going to mix all of these ingredients in a bowl in no particular order. So we're going to start with these almonds. Now this is 2/3 cups of almonds. This is 1 cup of the pumpkin seeds. This is actually 2/3 cups of the sunflower seeds. 2 tablespoons of the sesame seeds. 2 tablespoons of the flax seeds. 1 cup of cashews. 1 cup of walnuts. And then we are going to add our apricots. I cut them up in kind of decent sized chunks. We're going to add our egg whites. This is actually 3 egg whites. And the amount of apricots that I used was 1 cup cut up. And so that is the egg whites. And over here we're going to be using, the recipe tells me to put 2 tablespoons of honey. However, for the amount of ingredients that I have in here, and it's a significant amount if you can see it, for the amount of ingredients I have in here, I am going to do 3 tablespoons of honey. 3. One thing about honey, it takes its own time coming out of the jar. It's 1. I feel like the count on the kids program from years ago on Sesame Street. The count would go 1, ha 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 ha, 2, ha ha ha. So this is 2 tablespoons of honey. Come on out of there. Last tablespoon. Come on out, come on out, come on out. Okay. That's our 3rd tablespoon of honey. And I'm going to step over here and get this honey off my fingers. Okay. Now that we've got everything in our bowl, I'm going to stir this up and give it a good mix. That looks good. That looks good. So, because we have all these nuts in here, of course, we cannot share this with our family and friends that might have nut allergies. they're going to just miss out. Maybe you can make them something different. But I like this recipe because I like trail mix and things like that to munch on. I don't like the oatmeal bars because I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. It's okay for cereal, but in terms of the oatmeal bars that they have in the stores, I'm not big on that. And it's amazing that the items in the store are so costly, the trail mix type items. They're healthy snacks, but it appears that anything healthy is often more expensive than the items that are not good for you. So sometimes you have to just kind of splurge, or at least I do, and go with the healthy things, even if it costs a little bit more. Now that I've got this stirred up pretty good, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these ingredients. My oven is preheated. Where do I have it? I have it at 150 degrees. And we're going to bake it in the oven. After I put it on the cookie sheet, it'll bake in the oven for about 15 to 17 minutes. So as you can see, this is the longest part. Getting everything well mixed with the honey and the egg whites to make sure everything has a decent coating. All right. Now, I need to make some space over here. Because we have a couple of cookie sheets coming. And as you can see, I have the cookie sheets lined with parchment paper so that our cookies do not stick. And I made this cookie cutter type thing. It's really just a little mold. I don't have a real cookie cutter because I don't do cookies often. So I made this out of aluminum foil. I just folded it over a few times to make it round. And then I took a stapler and I stapled it together so that it won't come loose while I put my cookie ingredients in it. So let's do the first one. So it looks like 2 tablespoons should be enough to fill the bottom of this mold. And I'm spreading it out at the bottom with this spoon. Voila! It's 2. Let's see if that's enough for this one. That's that one. So as you can see, it's a very simple process. 2 tablespoons per mold setting should be enough for it. And I'm also conserving the batter, even though there's no flour, I'm calling it a batter. I'm preserving the ingredients so that I can get as many cookies as possible. Here's that. 4. Get up there. No falling apart. I might get more cookies out of this than I thought. When I made it last time, it was really only enough for 5 cookies with half the ingredients of what we just used. And 5 cookies didn't last around here but about 5 minutes. So that's why this time I doubled the recipe. So I'm going to move on over to the other tray. If I can get 6 cookies on this tray, then I'll see if I can squeeze more in and wind up with maybe, if I'm lucky, more than 12 cookies. We shall see. Pat this down. So what about you? Have you baked anything interesting lately? If so, let me know. Put it down in the comments as to what you have baked recently and how did it go when you baked? Did it come out the way you hoped it would, or will you have to make some adjustments to the recipe next time? If you're like me, I make adjustments on a regular basis, because if at first I don't succeed, I'll try it again. Just put another little tweak in it to fix what might not have been right the first time and go from there. Pretty good there. Now with this nut recipe, you pretty much can put whatever type of nuts in it that you like. You don't necessarily have to stick with the nuts that I presented here for this recipe. If you prefer to use peanuts, which I have not used any in this recipe, but if you prefer peanuts, then feel free to put some peanuts in your recipe. Or if there's anything else that you like that you think would go with the ingredients, put it in there. It does not hurt to experiment and make each recipe your own. All right. So we have enough for one more. We've got 12 so far. Getting down to the wire. Getting down to the wire. Now, if you're like me, 13 cookies are not going to do it. I got to move this and put another one on this one. I need an even number. a little bit out of here. All right. Put this up here. Okay. Well, that looks like where we need to stop. So I am going to put these cookies in the oven. Okay, so now we want to do timer. Okay, so that needs to stay in the oven for 17 minutes. I will bring you back when they're ready. Well, it's been a little over 17 minutes. I took the honey cookies out of the oven. They've cooled down a little bit, so I can show you up close how they look. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. They're not quite cool enough for me to eat any yet, but they'll cool off and I'll eat a little bit tonight. I'll probably only eat one because they are very rich. So I'll eat one tonight, and over the next few days, my family and I will dust off the rest of them. But I wanted to show you this really simple recipe if you decide to make some for your family. As I said, it's real easy to make. You can use your favorite nuts for ingredients. Hold on a second. My cat is playing with the microphone cord. Life happens even when you're doing videos. But yes, please feel free to substitute your own favorite nuts for the ones that we're using here in the recipe if you don't want to try these exactly. I will put the recipe in the description below, so if you decide to make this, you'll have all of the instructions at your fingertips. Please like, share, and subscribe if you learned something new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.